I've really been wrestling with this idea that to develop this sort of like blog on YouTube to address anybody's issues or give some insight into the workings of Narcotics Anonymous. The name of this blog will be NA Nation. And, we had this thing in recovery uh, called confidentiality. And I respect a person's confidentiality if that's what they want to stand by. But my attitude as a recovering person, a person in what we call long term recovery, is that I didn't have any confidentiality when I was ripping and running up and down the streets and taking this and doing that and living all kinds of manners of ways uh, during my addiction. And me talking about or sharing about my addiction and recovery has been one of my strengths professionally in what I do. And that's still helping the sick and suffering addict in and outside of Narcotics Anonymous. And I know that some people have some curiosity about how this thing called NA works or how recovery works. And I wanted to develop this YouTube station so that if people have any concerns or thoughts or feelings about addiction and how recovery works, I want to be available to them to address those issues. This is going on in 4 more months. It'll be 32 years of recovery. No slips, no dips, no weekend trips. When I say recovery, I have been actively involved in Narcotics Anonymous since March the 28th, 1989. And as a result of that, I have accomplished and achieved so many things as a result of being in recovery and being in Narcotics Anonymous. Narcotics Anonymous, as we say, saved my life. It gave me a life. It allowed me to be able to fulfill my potential as a human being. And therefore, it's essential. They tell us that in recovery, in order for us to keep what we have to give it away. In other words, we have to share our strengths, our hopes, and our recovery with other individuals so that people will know that it is possible for a person to have been addicted to heroin and cocaine and crack and all of these powerful substances and be addicted for years and still turn their life around and get themselves together. My story began in a very dysfunctional lifestyle in Flint, Michigan. Raised in a single parent household. Never knew my biological father, and my mother died at the very young and tender age of 34 as a result of being an alcoholic and having lung cancer. So my great grandmother raised me. She was 86 years old in 1969 when my mother passed, and I was a 14-year-old boy. So it was nothing that an 84-year-old great grandmother could do with a 14-year-old boy, but just try to give him some kind of guidance to keep him from dying, which I was pronounced dead on arrival to Hurley Medical Center in Flint, Michigan, at the tender age of 16. I had gotten a dose of bad heroin that was cut with talcum powder. I had injected, I was an intravenous drug user. I had injected and was pronounced dead on arrival to Hurley Medical Center in Flint. This is the beginning of my story in regards to addiction. But my recovery has taken me to such tremendous heights, having attended the University of Michigan and obtained my master's degree in social work, having obtained a bachelor's degree from Spring Arbor College in psychology, and attending Montcalm Community College and achieving my associate's in arts and science degree in psych and social. So even though I came from a very devastating personal background, I was still able to overcome these obstacles. Some of them self-imposed, and some of them as a result of the realities of coming up in a very hard kind of environment. Helped me to overcome those things and to achieve the professional heights that I have. I've been a professional therapist for almost 30 years, and I have no shame about sharing where I came from and what transpired to transform my life into the life that I have now today, which I'm 65 and I'm still working in the field of addictions and still trying to help people that are seeking and struggling through addictions and get into recovery. It's been a tremendous journey, a very powerful journey, and I just wanted to do this as a result of I've been thinking about this for some time, and then really wrestling with putting it together or starting the effort to get it together. But they say, I had a motto when I was going through U of M is the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. And you never can achieve anything or go anywhere unless you're willing to step outside of your comfort zones and be able to go ahead on to take on the challenges of the unknown. Hopefully, this will be the beginning of a great venture for us to have another vehicle to share our insights, our strengths, and our hopes as a result of our recovery. And I will be getting back with you and talking about various other different topics in regards to recovery when we get the opportunity to do so. You have a blessed and wonderful day. Peace.